Hello again. It's another F1 Banter-Shanter. We've not been around, even though Arpit and I have caught up a few times in the past few weeks. We haven't managed to record a show. And it's the Miami race weekend. It's been a very eventful week. Arpit, why don't you give us what's happened in the week so far?
Yeah, Kushan, it's been a very eventful week and a lot of speculations, a lot of news. It's been an action-packed week for Formula One. First thing was Hulkenberg finally getting a chance to move out of Haas. I feel happy for the guy.
And he's been a great qualifier, man. He's taken the
Yeah,
title of Mr. Saturday away from George.
yeah, absolutely. And he's been pushing that Haas as hard as it can go, and he's been getting some good results. With qualifying, he's shown that he has the ability, but the car, mechanical failures or something or the other strategy. So yeah, hopefully he'll have a better future.
But he's going to a worse team because he's been pushing that Haas so well that stakes actually behind Haas in this year's championship. And the other
Yeah,
big news,
but that's only for a year. Huh? Eventually, then he'll move to Audi. So that's
yeah,
one year is a stopgap.
and the other
So
big
yeah,
news, of course, is
the
yeah,
other big news which everyone's talking about is, of course, Adrian Newey finally putting in the papers, and it's official. Red Bull has said he'll be leaving by March 25.
so I guess he'll
So
design a
yeah,
bit of
that's
next
big.
year's car. But you know what I learned today is Adrian
Yeah.
Newey's manager is Eddie Jordan. I don't know if you've seen that as
Oh.
yet. And Eddie Jordan has said
No,
that
no, no.
Adrian
I
might.
know.
I just saw that because there's a quote from Eddie Jordan. He thanks Eddie Jordan, his manager, and today that Eddie Jordan says that Adrian might just tail off into the sunset and not get back to Formula One. It may not be Aston Martin, may not be Ferrari after all. God knows what. Yeah, but what a career he's had. I
Quite.
mean,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah. What? No, yeah, absolutely. What you're saying, what a career.
Williams has not won a championship since Adrian left. McLaren only won Lewis after Adrian left. Yeah, I mean, Red Bull, he'll probably possibly pull off the next two, but it remains to be seen.
Yeah, but I think while Adrian is definitely the most successful designer of the sport, we also shouldn't forget that Hamilton won all his championships while Adrian was around. So it's
Yeah,
not that Adrian is a sure shot ticket
yeah,
to,
yeah,
yeah, a, a championship, and it's not just
yeah,
Hamilton, but others also, Rosberg and other drivers have won while Adrian was around. So
yeah.
there is always a possibility.
No, no, I mean, clearly all of Mercedes championships were won without Adrian Newey. Mercedes had the best end package of the sport. Adrian, of course, is an aerodynamic savant. He's designed winning race boats. He is going to design the new Red Bull racing car, sports car. He's,
Uh,
yeah,
the RB17 hypercar, what that
yeah,
thing is.
that's that's going to be coming
Wow.
soon. But in
Yeah.
this week's episode, I know Miami is coming up. I think the Ferrari blue has been a bit of a damn squib. I thought it'd be bluer than we
Yeah, it's
expected.
not that blue.
It's not that blue, just a little blue streak. You know, somebody coloring a little streak of their hair blue. But what I wanted to talk about in this episode is some rumors that the Indian Grand Prix might come back. And we're both in Delhi. I went to all three races when they happened. All three, of course, were won by Sebastien. The last one
Yeah.
is, he did the donuts. The first guy who did donuts on the start finish straight, most famous of his wins. So, can an Indian Grand Prix come back? I think one of the stories had it could come back in Gift City in Gandhinagar. There's
Yep.
talk about a race in Bangalore. But the Formula One calendar is already crammed. I mean, how many? They can't add more races.
No, they can't. I mean, at max, they want to take it from 24 now to somewhere between, 28, or they want to push it to 30 after 26 or beyond. But I mean, even in that case, there are still too many tracks, great tracks that are not part of the calendar. For India to make it in that list will take a massive government push. This time, it's not going to come back without a government push. Private companies can't get it back on their own. And well, that's what the report said. It's not any of us saying, it was an experienced veteran F1 journalist who said that the Indian government is taking interest in the project. So I don't know how much of that is true.
I mean, governments, of course, other governments have used, I mean, China is still a government pushed event. Vietnam is talking about it being a government pushed event. Singapore is a government pushed event. Liberty Media wants to spread it out to the US more and more. You already have Miami,
Yeah,
Kota, and Vegas. You have three US races
biggest.
already.
Yeah,
And they're talking about a New York race as well. So I mean, Liberty Media, of course, is an American company. I looked at last year's Miami, which is the first Miami race last year, where I saw some of the prices in the grandstands. People are paying $1,000 for a burger. As a race organizer, I know this when I went to the Indian Grand Prix, you do not make money from Formula One. You pay Formula One, and you have to make your money back through hospitality and all of that.
and sponsorships and all of that.
Yeah, but even like Airtel paid for the three races, and the other
Yeah,
question, of course, is does it make sense for us to develop another great F1 track, or another F1 capable track? Because those are expensive. I mean, BIC is
yeah,
bankrupt today. It's in bankruptcy court.
yeah. And but I think the interest there is clearly, Gujarat to highlight that part of the state and the country. And if that happens, then probably, yeah, the way I've seen many projects have gone on to become more of creating a sub economy around it. So maybe if that's what the idea is, yeah, then maybe they want to do that. But I don't know. I mean, that'll take a lot of work. It's not easy to do that. It's easier said than done. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any such intent and how they want to do it.
And a Gift City track could also become what do you call it? A road circuit, right? A street circuit, because around,
Possibly, yeah.
gee, I mean, we have too many street circuits already right now. We have the new Madrid race starting in 26, so that also doesn't look like a very
Yeah,
nice track.
doesn't,
That
yeah,
said,
actually.
you went to MotoGP last year. I believe MotoGP is going to come back this year. How was the experience for you at MotoGP? Do you think interest in top flight racing, even if and MotoGP is today owned by Liberty Media as well?
Yeah.
So,
No, I think it was better than expected, response, I think, Kushan, because frankly, Formula One is something that is, fairly popular. Even if you go to small towns and all, people know about Formula One. In villages, people know the name Schumacher. Back in his time, he was so famous. But still, MotoGP, to see that kind of a turnout for MotoGP was quite nice. So yes, clearly the interest is there. Also, a lot of companies supported. They brought in a lot of school kids and all. So, that way is also new people came in. So I'm hoping that the next edition should get better traction. Because also, if you remember, a lot of things for this MotoGP were very last moment, because this was the first time. Even a lot of visas for the riders themselves came in the last moment. So if they organize it better this time, I think they can do a far better job of disseminating information to people, letting them know this is going to happen, and have more people on the track.
you know, and we are the world's largest two-wheeler market, of course not. And
Yeah,
Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki are established brands in India, as and Ducati.
correct.
Everybody knows of all the two-wheeler brands. We aren't that big a market for either Mercedes or for, I don't even think Red Bull for
True.
that matter. Definitely not Ferrari. So, but yeah, I think I know Formula One puts you on the world map, but I don't think we should do a race just for the sake of doing a race and be part of the calendar. I think you have to build up
Correct.
that enthusiasm. I mean, even the Malaysian Grand Prix, and as good a circuit as Sepang is, I've driven at Sepang, I'm sure you have as well.
Fantastic circuit.
It just couldn't sustain itself. I mean,
True.
even Sepang, and Sepang is, in my opinion, the best circuit in this part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best dedicated circuit this part of the world. So
Clearly.
even Sepang couldn't sustain itself. And we need to have a larger market. I think we need to have a much larger market for and I don't think the government should support Formula One just for the sake of supporting Formula One. Just like um, let's try and get some more drivers in the grassroots. I think the many brothers have done a great job, and there's so many drivers coming through. You know, lower formulas right now in Formula 3, Kushan,
Correct.
Kushmani right now, Jehan right now. So hopefully to see one of them at the top tier.
Getting. It's a sort of a little bit of a chicken and egg situation also, because we also don't have that kind of infrastructure. Now, if the government really participates in getting this, sport back into India, they should not just focus on the sport and the economic advantages that come with it for those few days, but they should look at also, developing motorsports in general, using that track and using Formula One, because only once people here have better access to go-karts and better karts and tracks right from the word go, only then you can have those world-class drivers. I mean, for example, Leclerc, Verstappen, Lewis, all of these guys when they were young, when they you know probably they did not none of them got the best cars instantly. uh, all of these guys, even Michael in his days, all of these guys. But the moment you saw them, you could make out that they are special, they're different. Even in a slow car, they would achieve
Yeah.
they had that kind of an impact. So we have not
And
had that kind of drivers yet. And to
yeah,
produce that, you need more than just natural talent.
sport as well. But it's good that some new tracks are coming out, like Narayan's new track in Coimbatore Coast. There's some
Yeah.
other guys like our friend Aspi Patena who's putting up a track in Pune. So yeah, I think that should be good. Um, we'll keep it short, guys. Want to ask you guys, everybody, all our viewers, a question. As few as you are right now, try and subscribe to this. We'll do more of these. Um, do you think Indian Grand Prix should come back, if at all, and what the government can do to promote motorsport in India?